Oh, look, Ron. Shall we stop and pick this nice man up?
I'd prefer to kind of cut his thumb off as we go past, but we haven't gotten to that movie yet. So
Yeah.
how about we let him in? All right, come on in.
Oh, welcome. So, yes, I think.
Give me a second. I have queued up a door slamming sound that may or may not be
Oh,
picked
here we
up
go.
by the thing here. So let's try it. Guys, hear that? No.
You
No.
were only supposed to blow the bloody Bigfoot off.
Whew. There you go. Here's your
All
door.
right, guys. I need to get to I don't know, Crosswell or something like that.
Yes. Well, here we go. So,
It's somewhere around here on the thumb,
no,
the Michigan thumb.
normally on this show, it's just me and Ron. But
Hmm.
now that we're in Michigan, we were thinking, well, who else better to show us around than an Irishman who lives in Canada?
Hmm. Yes, yes. I have actually been to Michigan a couple of times. I assume, Ron, you must have been. You would have grown up a
Yeah,
bit
I
close.
think I've driven through it. Yeah, on the way somewhere else, but yeah.
Yeah, in fact, there's
And of course, this time too, right? Right here we are now,
well,
right?
yes, we're
Yeah, the
here right
road, you
now.
Michigan hippies.
Um,
Yes.
Yeah,
but yeah, from actually, it's faster to get to certain parts of Canada if you're in Southern Ontario by
yeah,
going down through the US and back up again, like to get
yeah.
to Winnipeg, for
Yeah,
example.
my stepfather's family used to live up in like kind of like northern Ontario, and when we went there once, and we went through like Michigan, Wisconsin,
Yes.
Minnesota, whatever, and then up that was the faster way. Yeah, so yeah.
These kind of liminal spaces between the northern United States and Canada do kind of weirdly fascinate me for some reason. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know
Well,
what it is.
we spent some time in Fargo, me and Jen, when we were doing that drive, and it's exactly as weird as you hope it will be. And yeah, Wisconsin's great. Like, yeah, all
Yeah.
those states are
Well,
lots
we'll
of fun.
get to Wisconsin and we'll be doing Bill Rebane movies. So,
Mm.
yeah.
And eating a lot of cheese, I hope. Um,
Is it a cheese state, Wisconsin?
Yeah, yeah,
oh
Wisconsin.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so what have you guys already been doing? Who have you already visited in Michigan?
Well,
Uh,
of course we did the Evil Dead, of course,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Started
obviously.
out. You can only go downhill at this point.
Although technically set and filmed in Tennessee, but yeah, whatever. But
Right.
we had that discussion already. But
We did.
Mhm.
We did.
yeah,
But Ron likes bringing it up.
yeah.
Um, okay.
And we did another one as well, Deathbed and
Oh yeah.
something else. Yeah, this is our third Michigan show, I
Well,
think. And in
Michigan's got
fact,
a
there's
lot going
another
on.
one, and I would wager when I announce what they're going to be, I suspect
Yeah.
I suspect Nick might stay in the
I
car.
might have to stay in the car a
Oh
bit
yeah.
long.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're
But
welcome.
anyway,
You're
for the
always welcome.
time being,
Hmm.
At least until you.
we have Black River Monster
Hmm.
and the Hackers. Of course, everyone will know the Hackers because Angelina Jolie is in it
Oh yes.
and
Hmm.
wears
And
parachute
that Johnny Lee
hats
Miller.
with Johnny Lee Miller and
Yeah.
yeah. So that's a well-known film. But
Unless Ron watched the wrong hackers. Hopefully you watched the
I'm hoping he
1990.
didn't watch some no-budget gore film shot in Crosswell.
With really annoying like Texas Chainsaw wannabe people or Devil's Rejects wannabes.
But
Uh-huh.
anyway, yeah, Black River Monster from 1986 is only runs 49 minutes. But don't
Yeah.
worry, you get your money's worth. It seems about 10 times longer.
Hmm.
Yeah, it still feels like like 10 hours.
Directed and written by John Duncan on the real Black River Ranch, it seems, in Crosswell, Michigan.
Mhm.
Um, and this stars Craig Martin as Leroy.
Yeah, sadly, no other screen credits for Craig. I
Yeah.
did look him up. So, but he does get to
No,
play two roles at least. He does get to
he made
play
up
his,
for it here. He played his mother as
and
well,
his
didn't he?
mom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um, and he gets a
He also
job.
plays the monster too. Actually has three.
One of the
Really?
three who plays the monster, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, and I'm still not quite sure what the monster actually is. Is it a man in a gorilla, slightly modified gorilla suit to
I
look?
think well, it says on IMDb that like the actual summary on IMDb calls it a Sasquatch-like creature.
Hmm. It does look a lot like the animatronic drummer from that band from Chuck E. Cheese or whatever. The gorilla. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he's kind of
I think it
chroma
was.
keyed in at one point, right? When we actually
yes.
see him, the only time we actually see him, and you can tell the mask doesn't quite match what the rest. So it
Yeah,
looks like
I
a
think they got like a gorilla costume and then some random Halloween mask and then some like kind of glove
Yeah.
claw things and then they
Although
just
I have to
put
say
it
the
together.
VHS cover is fucking genius because it's Leroy in the foreground with like a wheelbarrow and the two comic relief Sleazy and Louis like
Hmm.
looking over a
Peeking over,
fence.
yes.
It's just yeah, it's a classy
And
cover.
then a
Like,
face of a thing that doesn't appear anywhere, like a
Yeah.
I
version
think that
of the
might be
monster
the
that's
monster, but
completely not in the film.
yeah.
Looks like
So
Aslan.
anyway, Craig Martin's Leroy, he gets a job at this ranch and he's very excited. Um, I'm hoping he's made a mistake, that he's excited that it's an all-girl ranch because they're all like pre-teen girls, right? So I'm hoping,
Yes.
although he does seem overly excited at the end when they all say Leroy is our hero.
He's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, he's dreamy or something, or he's cute or something, and he's just like, oh shucks, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, he goes to work there.
That's
Um,
pretty much most of the film, let's be honest. That's
Yes,
most
yes,
of
there's
it's
some
him wandering
hilarious
around.
comedy looks in the end of it.
Reluctantly, he doesn't really want to go there. He doesn't want to work
He doesn't
there.
want to work. No,
That's
he's a
true, but
lazy
his
fellow.
mother forces him to go.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Um, you get scenes of him watering things, and
yeah,
he cleans the barn 3 times.
yeah,
Yeah.
and something's creeping about in the woods, and eventually we see it, and it almost kills Sleazy and Louis, who
Yeah.
get blamed for whatever the monster. To be fair, this is one of the lightest monster films I've ever done. This monster just seems
Hmm.
to fuck up a barn, right? He doesn't
Barn.
kill
Yep.
anyone,
Yeah.
although he does.
No,
He looks like he almost kills Sleazy and Louis, but they seem to be alive.
they're fine. Yes, when the
And
the,
to be
the
honest,
sheriff.
their crimes are just bullying um Leroy, right?
Leroy.
And yeah. So they're not really that.
Oh, they're gonna steal some saddles as well.
Yeah.
But apparently they're gonna get 200 years in jail for that crime,
Mm.
according to them.
Yeah. Oh, they also do the crime of pretending to be disabled veteran musicians at a swap meet,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yeah, that scene is
Yeah. Yeah. Now I come
astonishing.
to think of it, um, if I may use a quote from I don't know why I'm watching this film because I could be at home watching Willy Nilly the Silly Clown,
Hmm. Yes.
which made me laugh. I don't know if that's a genuine Michigan
Michigan,
TV
yeah,
host,
could be.
Willy Nilly the Silly Clown, but
I
that's a good name for
do
it.
like I do like that Bruce Phillips, who plays Sleaze, didn't feel the need to put his teeth in this film, or for that matter, in The Hackers, which he also appears in.
Yes,
Um, yeah,
they like to
um,
keep it loose in Michigan.
yeah.
Maybe he
He
doesn't have any teeth. Maybe he keeps it. Maybe he actually.
Well, he clearly doesn't have any teeth.
Yeah,
no.
no, maybe he permanently. Maybe he never got any fake teeth. So.
At one point, though, there's a scene where he kind of transmogrifies into a really rough looking Peter Jackson.
Huh.
It's around the part where he there's this bizarre scene where they're trying to walk down a hill and he just like tumbles over. And it's also most of the dialogue in this film seems to have been post like recorded, right? Like it's just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
been dubbed in
Yeah,
over the
I'm
top. So
highly
you're not even
offended by
sure.
that, Nick, as well, because I'm in this process of slowly turning into Peter Jackson myself.
Okay,
He
well, yeah.
stands the amazing directing career, just the fat beardy bit.
Okay. Um, but yeah, no. I have questions about this film, a number of questions. One of
Oh,
them is clearly the Black River Ranch. So like the guys who made this, right? And they still exist. The whatever the production
John
company
Duncan.
is. Yeah, yeah, he
Yeah.
is still exists. And also the production company still exists. And they obviously primarily do kind of
Are you talking about Camelot Studios?
yes, I'm talking about Camelot Studios. Thank you
That's
for furnishing the name.
that's a
So
great.
Camelot.
I love when small production companies really aim for the stars. Camelot Studios,
So
where legends are made.
so for it reminds me a little bit of how George Romero, right? He got a start basically putting together a production company that did commercials, right,
Yes,
in Pittsburgh. And
industrial
obviously,
films. Yeah,
yeah, these guys had that's what that is their bread and butter. But obviously, John Duncan had aspirations, right? So, but I love the idea that probably Black River Ranch was like, yeah, can you come and shoot us promotional videos? Like, I can do you one better. I can make you a sort of feature length movie
Yeah,
featuring your, Black River Ranch, and they're like, oh, that sounds great, John.
yes. What the other thing I like as well, I've seen a whole shit bunch of these movies where there's a legendary monster. I don't think I've seen one yet where someone have actually nailed to a tree
Be careful.
warning monster lives here.
Hmm.
Like it's quite
Yeah.
clearly demarcated, right? Where they're riding their ponies.
I
Yes.
feel like making this as like a promotional video maybe backfired on them because it was far too terrifying for anyone to ever actually want to
Want to go to that camp?
actually
Yes.
go and
Yeah,
visit.
that's true. Actually, me and Ron's slightly annoyed because we planned to go together to Black River Ranch this summer, and after seeing this film, because
I'm too scared. Yeah.
I'm all for it, but he's easily scared. Is Ron?
I'm afraid that a hand's going to go like this.
I'm slightly scared that the barn might be fucked up while we stay there. But,
Right. And then
But
you'll be
Leroy's still working though.
yeah, I wonder
I do
what
also
Leroy's
like.
up to now. Craig Martin.
I would love to know. Yeah, but I do.
If
I
you're
do.
Craig Martin, let us know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, I lost my train of thought completely there, but oh yeah, so yeah, some of the acting in this thing is pretty awesome. I mean, Craig, in fairness to Craig, he's actually doing a not bad. He doesn't flub
Yeah, he's not bad.
lines.
I mean, they're definitely trying to make it like a comedy. Like they're kind of shooting more for the comedy
Yeah. And
sort
maybe
of
even I was
horror, I
thinking
guess, more comedy. Trying to
kids
think, I'd
film
say
maybe
more of a
they're
comedy than a horror.
having the kids there. It seemed maybe it might have been trying to be like an earnest kind of
Ah.
thing.
Right. But the guy playing the ranch owner is abysmal. He
Well, he's a
can't
ranch owner,
speak.
that's why. And
I know.
his wife of ranch owner. Like, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Because he doesn't get a single line out without flubbing it or stepping on
Although
his
I do
own
like the
stepping on his
sheriff.
own line.
I do like the sheriff who has the inner monologue, like,
Hmm.
what are these two guys up to now? I quite
Yeah,
like
when
that.
it suddenly becomes Dukes of Hazzard for like
Yeah.
2.5 minutes.
And I won't hear a word spoken against Sleazy and Louis.
They are pretty awesome. Yes.
I believe it's actually just sleaze. It's not sleazy.
Oh, you're right.
Oh,
Sleaze.
right. Sorry.
Great.
I do apologize.
Sleazy
Sleaze
Louis.
Summer and Louis Summer. Yes.
Oh, and then there's also an amazing scene where for some reason Craig dreams or hallucinates that he's in a pith helmet wandering in the jungle and finds a
Yes.
jungle girl tied up to a couple of trees.
I've had that dream many times.
He reminded me a little bit of the kind of the this is a real random connection, but he reminded me of the section in Stand By Me with the Lardass character.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
sort of
that
like
could have been a nod there, yeah.
just the his kind of like people bullying him, but at the same time really kind of standing up for himself a little bit, having a little bit of like kind of self-respect, and then kind of fighting back a little bit. So I think they definitely kind of got that character a little bit. I think so.
Well, I was thinking as well, what was it? This film with a bigger budget could have played as a vehicle for what's the dead fat Beverly Hills Ninja guy?
Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been a Chris Farley vehicle as well.
Yeah.
But then David Spade would have played the monster, and that would have been weird. It would have been a very small
David Spade would be Sleaze.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yes, he totally
So
would be.
who would have been
wearing the same wig?
Yeah.
Always in Chris Farley films then.
He's in a lot of them.
A lot of them.
Okay. I don't think I've actually seen a Chris Farley film in my life.
What was the one that David Spade made where he had the kind of like the mullet wig and
you
know the one anyway. But yeah, he just had the mullet wig and put on. Yeah, he would have been.
Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt. Oh,
Yeah.
I've seen that. I've seen that. Chris Walken was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was Adam Beach. Anyway,
I've seen Joe Dirt. Yeah. Oh, so were they like a double act or something?
Yeah. They met on Saturday Night Live, and they did most of the movies. Yeah, Tommy Boy and
Black Sheep. Yeah, they did a couple together. Yeah.
Okay.
But we're not here to talk about Chris Farley and David Spade.
Well, there's not much to talk about in Black River Monster.
Well, no, I think we're here to unanimously agree that Black River Monster is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty abysmal. It was 40, what is it, 43 minutes, 48 minutes, something like that.
Minutes.
It still felt like forever. I was like,
but it is one of those things as well, though. You're like,
I got onto its vibe.
You can't knock it really.
I found myself like quite quickly adjusting to its whatever it was doing, and just because it has this kind of dreamlike meandering quality that is somewhat relaxing.
I appreciated that it was
relaxing. Yeah, it's like it's like if someone made fun of a special needs kid for doing a bad drawing or something, right? It's
yeah. I appreciated that it was trying to do. It was like it elevated a little bit more over other kind of like movies where everybody can't act and everyone is talking like this and they're
reading
memorize their lines and they are just saying that like this, right? But at least there's a couple people here that could act maybe, or they were trying their best, and there was a couple of like kind of sight gags or slapstick gigs that they were trying to go for that would make it kind of elevated. So I appreciated that, but
it's very
I would say it did more with the monster. I mean, it was the monster, but the monster was really into it. Yeah, so
it's very non-cynical. I suspect it might have been. They tried to be making a kids film, and it's under an hour long, so give it a break. You can't.
I get the impression it was made for like it was like a camp there or something, and then they just made it to show at the camp, and somehow it got picked up and put onto video shelves. So
with a great
and it's available on Amazon Prime, which I particularly like. Most of the reviews of it are like, "What did I find on Amazon Prime? Why is this on Amazon Prime?"
Well, it was quite difficult to find there for a while, and then
yes, apparently it was extremely
quite the rarity. And the only reason people knew about it is because John Duncan went on to make another film, which we'll talk about now, The Hackers.
Sadly, didn't bring back Craig. I wondered, was there a falling out between them? Because I think Craig would have been a natural.
Well, they upped the running time. This one's a whopping 71 minutes. And I will say, I mean, it's a bit. It's very easy to make fun of these things, but there's a definite step up, right?
Yes.
There's a definite step up from Black River Monster to The Hackers. And what this reminded me, it's not as good as it by any means, but do you remember Ron when we did...
I do remember Ron. He's right there, Clive. You've got to
Ron,
take your medication.
Last time I saw I was in the mirror.
Yeah, don't call me Shirley, etc. But do you remember we did Nathan Schiff's They Don't Cut the Grass Anymore?
Oh, yeah.
So this reminded me of that. Not as good, not as inventive.
Yeah.
But a very similar... Have you seen They Don't Cut the Grass Anymore?
No.
Oh, you'd love that.
Okay.
You'd love that, yeah. But Nathan Schiff was making that kind of... I think maybe he was shooting on 8mm. I think this very much, both these films are, I think, shot on video. I think SVHS or something like that, right?
Yeah, video, yeah.
But the Hackers is definitely a step up. So we have J. Hackers and Sons, Odd Jobs, Home Repairs. This is Pa, Howard Coburn. And he has two sons. There's Arnold, played by Dale Cohell, who, is he a hunchback? I think he's a hunchback, isn't he?
Seems like it. I don't think it's been faked. Apparently, his dad does explain that he didn't eat enough potatoes as a child.
Right. Which resonated with you, I'm guessing.
Absolutely. I was like, well, this explains why my nation is potato obsessed. Right. Clearly, you need to have enough iodine.
And then his mute brother, Eldon.
Who
Steve
wears
with a metal half mask, kind of like the guy in Demons wears.
Yes, yep.
And like the sign says, they're odd jobs, home repairs. They drive around in their flatbed truck, and if you don't pay them for a job badly done, then they're doing you in, basically. And they also like cutting off thumbs off hitchhikers and decapitating people and the like. Also, I like the scenes of Arnold and Eldon just hanging out at a kids' playground. That was fun.
Yeah.
And annoying a fisherman. That bit, for some reason, had me. I don't know why. I found that fucking hilarious. There's just a guy quietly fishing, and they just
Mhm.
turn up and they just decide to fucking annoy him. Can you go
Yeah.
over there? And they just irritate him. And for some reason, it's funny. And then his head ends up in a bucket of water. I found that quite
Which was actually
hilarious.
quite an effective little thing, because what I suspect that is they just took a photograph of his face and put it at the bottom of
I
the
think
thing,
so. Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
and yet it somehow
It
worked.
works. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Um,
Although I get the impression that that was really just some guy fishing that they ended up just
that they
bothering,
annoyed.
and they filmed while they were bothering him.
It's so good. It's the kind of thing you almost can't script, right? It's like Spinal
Yeah.
Tap or something. Do you think he
Yeah.
should turn around the other because he's fishing? He's fishing the wrong way inland, right? And and he's so annoyed, and you're just thinking, dude, chill, leave them alone. But it's quite because almost all the victims are in. That's the thing as well, is they're in some way annoying, so you don't mind when they get killed. Like when they pick up that hitchhiker at the beginning, and
Oh,
she's
the girl.
constantly got her headphones on,
Yeah.
which fucking everyone has them on now. But in 1987, that would have been a really antisocial.
Antisocial, yeah.
Like when you're
Yeah.
talking and they're like, and they're like blaming you that they can't hear what they're fucking saying. When she ends up with her head cut off, you're like, yeah, good.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
was scum of the earth. I'm quite glad that she's gone, you know. Yeah, so yeah, and there's and they end up they have to go and do work at some house, and there's a blonde woman house sitting, and she gets them all excited, and they're peeping in the window and stuff, and she kind of
She's the most 80s thing about the film. Like
She's
she
very-
she dates the film more than anything else. That haircut of hers and
Yeah.
her vibe. Yeah.
But it's kind of, I mean, I've seen a lot of these of this era. We've seen some of them for this show, but I've cherry picked some of the better ones like Splatter Farm and stuff. But there's so much worse ones. This is kind of fun, don't you think? I enjoyed this. I was the second time watching this, and I still kind of quite enjoyed it. It's quite a fun.
Second time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'd watch it again in a heartbeat, just for the fisherman scene.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll be rushing to watch it again, but it passed the time fine. I mean, it was,
okay.
you know,
It sounds almost as if, and this blows my mind. I wasn't expecting this to happen. Did both of you actually prefer Black River Monster to Hackers?
I might have, because it's harder to put my finger on what that is. I kind of get this. This is a very low rent attempt to do Texas Chainsaw.
Well, this is the film you made, basically, but it's in a different state, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, to me, whereas I can't understand what the hell Black River Monster is. Like, that's a real, like, what was the intent? What is the final product? What is it? So, but that said, I mean, it's fine. And it's better than, I think you're right. I think it's better than a lot of this type of short video.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I've seen enough of it to know that it doesn't outstay its welcome. It's a nice running time. Something's happening every couple of minutes. You're never really like, but it lacked the kind of oniric charm. It lacked the dreamlike quality of Black River Monster for me.
How about you, Ron? What did you make of this Angelina Jolie and Johnny Lee Miller vehicle? They got married just after as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. She married like everybody, didn't she? Yeah.
I've been married to her briefly, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did she have a vial of your blood too?
I believe that Andy Warhol once said, "We will all be married to Angelina Jolie
for 15
minutes."
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I preferred Black River Monster, but Black River Monster overall was a lot more dull, just because they had a couple kind of like, you know, shooting for kind of like some humor stuff, but overall I thought it would just kind of, it really dragged because there was just nothing going on.
I could watch that guy chase goats for at least another 25 minutes easily.
I could definitely watch Sleaze and Louis pretending to be disabled musicians.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like on a swap meet like tour of the country.
Well, it's funny, like that one's only like 40 minutes, yet they still had to pad it with like a whole song, right? But this one, I don't know. This one, I guess more stuff was happening, but I found the characters overall more annoying than they were in Black River Monsters. So I don't know, they were just sort of more more irritating, I guess. So, and it was more, I guess, more derivative. I think Buck River Monster at least was trying to do. I don't know what it was
Whatever the
trying
fuck
to do,
it
but it
was
was.
doing, yeah.
I've never seen anything quite like that. Whereas, whereas
I have this
the
opinion
hackers
these
was
two
just
guys
kind
are
of trying to
annoying.
rip off Texas Chainsaw Massacre by putting them in a truck, right? So,
I have
and
an idea of these two guys annoying Ron while he's trying to fish.
those fuckers took my thumb. Yeah, so, yeah. So I don't know. I think they were both a bit of a slog, but but especially when you compare it to, we just finished watching The Evil Dead. I mean, like that's how you put a low budget movie together, So I mean, so it's hard to kind of take these now when you get that as a standard, right? So, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
definitely they had more money.
Yeah.
But I'll never fault these people for trying to do it themselves,
Exactly.
for doing it, so I'm glad they exist. I'm glad that people are doing it. And it's shit. These are obviously early shit, and you got to try this stuff out. Like it's like it's the stuff when you're a stand-up comedian. You got to go and work out like the shitty jokes to find out which one works, right? So these are like the. It was too bad that maybe obviously there was an improvement between 1 and 2. It's too bad he didn't keep going, and that actually would have maybe made something worthwhile in the end. So,
and both of them 100 times better than Terrifier.
But that said, I
agree to disagree.
I will return. I'm more likely
agree to be wrong. Yeah.
As you know, I'm far more likely to return to either of those films than Forrest Gump, unless for some reason Clive finds a way to make me watch it again.
Well, there are 3 Terrifiers. You can't say either. So,
okay.
You haven't seen part 3 yet?
I haven't seen any of the Terrifiers.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Good man.
Nick, I'd really love it if you'd watch at least the first one, and explain to me why Clive is so viciously against this movie. Like I don't
know if he'll have the same reaction as me, but
yeah, I don't think so. But I'm curious if you have the same like overt hatred for it. Yeah. So,
okay.
It was fine.
You did.
Listen to my new podcast, How to Wind Up a Ron. But anyway, that's part 3 Michigan, and I can almost guarantee you that this man Nick is going to return for the next. He's going to stay in the car because the next 2 films, our last Michigan double bill, is going to be 2 films with the involvement of Ron Ashton of the Stooges. So we're going to be talking Wendigo.
Yes.
And Mosquito.
Ooh, which I like Mosquito quite a bit.
Yeah. So what do you think, Nick? Staying in the car?
I'll be in the car a while longer. Excuse my clouds of body odor that we discussed.
It's all right. I made extra sandwiches.
Oh, thank you.
African hamburgers.
Oh,
yeah. Did you say sandwiches?
Yes.
Yes, I speak correct English.
Sandwiches?
Sandwiches. What do you say?
Well, first of all, I would say sandwiches with a D.
Sandal.
My wife says sandwiches with an
sandwiches.
M. Yeah,
sandwiches.
That might be an out west.
That's just the wrong thing. Yeah, sandwich. Yeah.
Sandwich.
Sandwich. That's almost sewage. Don't worry about
that.
Where did the G come from? Sandwich.
I think it comes from the same place that Skellington comes from.
Oh.
Skellington, yeah.
Yes.
Jack Skellington.
But that's just a bit of fun.
It's a random added British G. It just kind of pops into words every now and again.
But this sort of petered out as well as just as much as the Hackers did.
Yes.
Well, no, but it's because some people think it's to do with the occupation of, but one of the reasons the Irish started planting bombs on British soil was because of the extra G in Skellington. Yeah,
we weren't having any
because they're poets, right? They're a nation of poets. They couldn't be putting up with that.
Yeah. So we had no choice but to
anyway,
Tom Hugh.
I think that's perfectly fine. There we go. If we restart the Troubles, I'd be very surprised if this little podcast did that.
I think we should be all right.
We might be all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, do we know where we're going next on the thumb or on the map of Michigan? Do you know, Clive?
We're still in Michigan.
Yeah, yeah. That's the whole hand.
Yeah.
We're
I'm
here.
not doing the hand analogy thing, so you might as well stop that now.
It's what good folks in Michigan do, Clive, when they
Is
want to be.
Michigan actually hand shaped?
Yes.
Hang
Yeah.
on,
No.
have a look.
I shit you not. This is exactly when people in Michigan want to say where they live. They point to parts of their hand.
Good podcasting right now.
I like that Clive has access to a computer screen in front of him.
He's using his map
Laminated,
random.
uh, back-
Which is, almost partially covered by his, mountains of boxes.
Did you find Michigan there?
But anyway, we'll be back in Michigan with Nick next time.
All right.
Cheerio.
Bye.